really want to tell you guys a bad date story that I don't think I've shared with you guys before.
No. Wait.
So I was in my going on dates era.
This Henny got me feeling crazy.
Gets really weird.
You blew it.
2023 for me was my year of bad dates. Like every date that I went on was just, it was not good.
Wake up, you're in the middle of it. You want to run, go ahead, no one's stopping you. Stop complaining.
You blew
I
it.
got a text from one of said bad dates last night.
I suppose.
Really?
You blew it.
Because he was texting his ex at dinner and willingly telling me it on the first date. Not to mention he had a horrific
Not cool. Not f***ing cool. You have no idea how not cool that is.
You blew it.
so yayed out he couldn't even eat his food. So I started yelling at him in the middle of this restaurant and threw a menu at him.
You know, and all we can do is pray for her. But still, this is real.
I
You
did
blew
go a
it.
little bit crazy. I put up with it for a little bit, but it just got on my nerves so bad, and I needed to let him know that, like, he should probably be checking into a psych ward.
Hate you. Ow! Goodbye forever. I hope you die horribly.
You blew it.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another short video we have for you here today. And today we are going to be looking at two clips of two different individuals, and they have some stories that they're going to tell us about the times where they refuse to see the red flags in someone, a potential partner that they're dating, or someone they're trying to get pumped and dumped by, or whatever the situation might be. They refuse to see the red flags and see that this isn't someone they should be spending their time with. And we are going to watch their stories. Now, this first one we're going to get into, I did speed up the video because she rambles a lot. However, it's very interesting that we have women like this. And once we get into the clip, I'll show you, we have women that look like she does and still expects the top percentage of handsome, available, in shape men to entertain her. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Again, my name is Ratboy, and let's get into it.
So I was in my going on dates era, and I matched with this guy that was really, really cute, handsome. His profile looked amazing. Let's call this guy Chris. Chris asked me to go out for dinner and drinks, and I say, perfect. I recommended a spot, and we met up at the spot. We get there, and we order some drinks. We're sitting outside in New York City outdoor dining.
Everything's going good so far. You know, this is pretty good, a pretty normal interaction, a pretty normal date. I don't see any reason why she should be concerned at this moment in time, but let's continue. Let's see what happens.
About 10 minutes in, Chris gets up and smokes a cigarette. We're sitting at the table, and he stands up while we're like eating guac and chips, and he lights his cig, literally while we're sitting at the table. While he's standing, I'm sitting. And I'm like, okay. Gets really weird.
So I'm assuming she knew that he smoked cigarettes, so that might not have been a surprise. However, the way she's describing it is she didn't want to be at the table while he was smoking his cigarette. So that's kind of a red flag. I mean, if somebody's going to do that on a first date, then maybe you should just call the date off. You know, I mean, maybe the cigarette can wait an hour or two.
So we're talking, and so far he's really cool. So other than like the cigarette thing, you know, you can't have it all. We're chit-chatting. He was done with his cig. We ordered food,
And here's the mentality, here's the thought process behind this is, wow, that's a pretty crazy screenshot. There's a thought process behind this is that a lot of women, even women that aren't necessarily attractive, women that are, you know, below a 3, a 2 possibly, if they match with some of these, like she said, cute guys that, you know, attractive, maybe works out and has everything going for them potentially, they will sort of work it around in their minds to put up with certain behavior that she wouldn't necessarily put up with if the guy didn't meet all of those qualifications.
You know, we're talking, and I love asking the question, have you ever been arrested before? Just feel like it could tell you something. You know, people can grow from their mistakes, but also could be a funny story. Maybe you got arrested for smoking weed in high school, like something stupid, right? So I asked him the question. Chris proceeds to explain he has been arrested and why. So he starts out by saying that he was really drunk one night.
Who asks people if they've been? I mean, I guess it's a good question to ask, but this video is crazy.
And attempted to drive himself home. He crashed his car on the way back home. Instead of calling the police or an ambulance because he was bleeding from his head, he decided he was going to leave the car at the scene of the crash and walk to the nearest house to try to find a band-aid for his cut on his head. Chris walks to the nearest house, which is 1 mile away. He rings the doorbell, no one is there. Chris proceeds to go in. Chris goes into this random house where he hears a dog barking.
So breaking and entering. He got arrested for breaking and entering, leaving the scene of a crash. That is a very nice, that's a good guy you're spending your time with there, lady. I would recommend you vet any potential suitors in the future. Possibly ask that question in the chats and see what happens before you're caught in public with them. And maybe ask him, hey, look, if we go to a restaurant and we dine outside, are you going to be lighting up a cigarette right there while we're eating or what? But, you know, she didn't leave, so the guy must have had something going for him. Very interesting to note, these makeup videos, if you play them backwards and just mute the sound, it kind of looks like they're wiping all the caked up makeup off. Pretty interesting. All right. Here is the next clip. This is also a date that it might possibly be worse than this one, sure. That previous clip, she said there was a part 2, but I didn't care enough to figure out what happened in it. So let's go into this next one, and this next one is rather interesting.
You don't know, 2023 for me was my year of bad dates. Like, every date that I went on was just, it was not good. 2024 is off to a better start, fully accrediting that to eating the grapes under the table in my red underwear at midnight, but I know I'm maturing because I got a text from one of said bad dates last night that I really wish went differently. People underestimate the power of a really shitty personality because he was texting his ex at dinner and willingly telling me it on the first date.
So maybe you should have left. You know, and this person isn't unattractive, but I mean, maybe this guy had a lot going for him. I don't know his situation. A lot of women will justify this, you know, if the man makes enough money or if he looks a certain way. But if you're sitting on a first date and you're texting your ex, that is that's a red flag for a lot of people, for 99.9% of people. And she stayed on the date, so that's kind of tells you a lot about where this person's head is at.
Not to mention he had a horrific so yayed out he couldn't even eat his food.
And if you knew that little piece of info before the first date, I'm not sure why you'd go on the date. It kind of seems like dating apps are just for nighttime visits and hooking up and stuff. But no, I'm not. It's for dating. I forgot.
So I started yelling at him in the middle of this restaurant and threw a menu at him. I did go a little bit crazy. I put up with it for a little bit, but it just got on my nerves so bad, and I needed to let him know that, like, he should probably be checking into a psych ward and not.
So you put up with him texting his ex during y'all's date, and you also put up with his bad habit that he had. That I'm assuming you had that bad habit as well. That's why you were even entertaining the dude. Man. And then these women, they turn their camera on and post this to the internet for everyone to see. It's like a clown show.
Going to restaurants on dates with women in this current state that he's in, which was fucking psychotic. Like, you need to be 51-50'd. You don't need a dating app. Anyways, he texted me last night, hey, sliding back in. It's been months. And the first thing I did was block him. I could have just sent a simple, are you sober yet? Text me when you get help. Have you been to rehab?
I'm sure she didn't block him. I'm sure she went over to his place. They got into some bad habits, and then he pumped and dumped her again. And then she went back home and sort of came to the realization, like, why did I do that? And then she blocked him. The blocking came after the pump and dump. It always does.
But instead I let it go, and I let him be, and I let him exist.
That is a very very warm story. It warms my heart. It really does to see these women learning from their mistakes, or learning. They're not learning. They actively keep choosing these mistakes over and over again and expect the men to do something to change. But guess what? The men aren't going to change because they're getting exactly what they want from these dating apps. They're getting to pump and dump. They're getting to take these women to random places and smoke cigarettes at the table. I don't know the what's going on here. All I know is that if I were in any of these situations, it would definitely be a red flag. And that would be my cue to kind of separate myself from that individual. Maybe go find someone better in real life, someone that doesn't spend their entire existence looking through an app and swiping and trying to find someone. But let me know what you guys think. That is going to be the end of this video. I will catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.